Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. And one last thing, don't forget to be awesome. Yeah, man. Sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about AEW Dynamite for December the 29th, 2021, New Year Smash. So this is the final Dynamite of 2021 and the final Dynamite on TNT because next week on January the 8th, I believe it is, January the 8th, they will be on TBS. So this is the final time that Dynamite will be on TNT. And so, welcome back, man. Welcome back to the Ryan Awesome Show. Hope you guys had a great Christmas, man. Hope you had a great time with your families and everything. And yeah, man, tonight's show was really good, man. Really good show. Enjoyed it. It was really fun. Enjoyed the main event, trios main event. And yeah, this show, man, this show tonight, this was a tag team heavy show. This is a tag team heavy Dynamite. And from the start, AEW, they were not lying when they said that they were going to focus on tag team wrestling. So yeah, man. So yeah, great stuff tonight. Great stuff tonight. Great segments on the show. Most specifically, the Dan Lambert stuff, the Dan Lambert and Brandy Rose stuff. I enjoyed that. That was probably the best thing on the show. But yeah, man. And yeah, I'm loving the progression of the storylines too. And yeah, man. So yeah, overall, just a great show. Overall, great show tonight. And yeah, what a way to end off 2021 and starting off 2022. So next week they have a huge show coming in, a stacked up show for next week. So I can't wait for that. So yeah, man. So this is the AEW Dynamite review for December the 29th, 2021 on the Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man. And I say this all the time, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. I'm here every single week, man. Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite. Thursdays for Impact Wrestling. Fridays for AEW Rampage. And then Saturdays and Sundays are for our pay-per-views, man. WWE, AEW, or Impact Wrestling pay-per-views. So I'm here. So yeah, man. So tonight, also on the Dynamite review, we will be talking about Toni Storm. We'll be talking about Toni Storm tonight. She was released from the WWE earlier today, so we're going to talk about that at the end of the show. So yeah, man, and my thoughts and opinions on Toni Storm's release, so I'm going to talk about that in the end of the show. And so yeah, man, so tonight for AEW Dynamite, we were live in Daly's Place. The home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So yeah, man, so JR is back. JR is back on commentary, so it's great to see JR back. He was going through skin cancer. So JR, he announced that he's cancer-free, so thank God he's cancer-free. And yeah, man, JR is an absolute legend, man. A voice of my childhood. Grew up watching JR when it was JR and the King. So yeah, so we started off the show with a 10-man tag team match. And it was Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Christian Cage, and the Lucha Bros, who are the AEW World Tag Team Champions. That's Pentagon and Rey Fenix with Alex Abrahantes in their corner versus FTR, who are the AAA Tag Team Champions. That's Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler with Tully Blanchard in their corner of the Pinnacle. And we had the Hardy Family Office, who were tag teaming with FTR. So that's Matt Hardy and Private Party. And that's Isiah, Kassidy, and Marq Quen with the rest of the Hardy Family Office ringside. So yeah, man. So this is match was all over the place. So yeah, so the entire time, man, the faces, they took control of the match. And so Jungle Boy at one point he locked in a submission move on Dax Harwood, the snare trap. And so Kassidy had stopped the hold. And so the faces they continue to take control of the match. So early parts of the like half of the match was all baby faces. And so yeah, man. So Hardy he had a side effect to Jungle Boy, and then the heels they finally took control of the match. And so we had a hot tag to Penta. He took out the heels with sling blades, and the Lucha Bros they were double teaming the heels. And so we had a double DDT to FTR from Penta. And so yeah, man. So Fenix, man, Fenix he had a swanton bomb to Marq Quen, which is beautiful, man. The height that he got off of that swanton bomb was really nice. And so yeah, man. So Quen he had hit a DDT, a DDT counter to Fenix. And so the crowd there started chanting for Luchasaurus because Luchasaurus, he didn't tag in yet. The only person in this match that haven't tagged in yet. So the crowd was behind Luchasaurus. And so yeah, man. So we had a double moonsault to FTR from Fenix. And then we finally had a hot tag to Luchasaurus. He took out the heels. And so we had a choke slam to Dax from Luchasaurus. And so Pentagon, he tagged himself in. And Luchasaurus, he didn't like that. And so yeah, so they building up their tag team match that they have coming up. And so yeah, man, so all 10 guys they were in the ring, and then they took it outside of the ring. And so Fenix, man, this is nice. So yeah, Fenix he was walking on the top rope, and he jumped off of the top rope while he was walking on it, and he jumped on the heel. So that was really nice, man. And yeah, I really don't know how Fenix. I don't know how he does it, man. But dude is freaking awesome, dude. He really is. So yeah, so Cage he had tagged himself in while Pentagon was in the ring. So Pentagon didn't like that either. So Pentagon he had shoved Christian Cage, and so FTR they shoved Christian Cage into Penta. And so to end the match, man, we had FTR they hit the finishing move, the big rig, to Christian Cage to win the match. So therefore FTR and the Hardy family office wins the match. And so that was pretty much it with that. Really good match to start off the show. And yeah, it was a must win, man. Must win for FTR because they lost. They lost last week in that trios match against Punk, Sting, and Darby Allin. And so they had to get their win back. So yeah, man. So that was pretty much it with that. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we went from a 10-man tag team match to a trios match. So this is, as I said earlier, man, this is a tag team heavy show. So yeah, man, so we had a trios match. We had Daniel Garcia and 2.0. So that's Matt Lee and Jeff Parker versus Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful of the Inner Circle. So that's Santana and Ortiz. And so yeah, so both of these teams, they went right at it, man. Faces took control of the match. We had a Three Amigos to Garcia from Santana. And then Lee and Garcia, they took out Ortiz outside of the ring. And so the heels that took control of the match during the commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And so yeah, man, so we had a hot tag to Kingston. He took out the heels. And so yeah, man, so Kingston, he had a series of machine gun chops to Garcia. And so Garcia, at one point, he had tripped up Kingston outside of the ring while Kingston was on a ring apron. And so yeah, man, so to end the match, man, we had a roll up to Santana from Matt Lee to win the match. So Matt Lee, he had grabbed the tights for the extra leverage for that pin. So therefore 2.0 and Daniel Garcia wins the match. And so yeah, so right after the match, man, we had the heels. They took out Santana, not Santino, Santina, Santina, Santana. They had took out Santana. And so Garcia, he had grabbed the ring bell. He started ringing the ring bell and all that stuff. And so he brought it into the ring. And so he had smashed Santana with the ring bell. And so yeah, so it took him time to, they were holding up Santana. So Garcia was getting ready to hit him with the bell, and he finally hit him with the bell. And so yeah, so Chris Jericho, his theme music had hit. So Jericho is back. So yeah, his music had hit. And so he ran out to the ring with Floyd the Bat, and he fought off the heels with Floyd the Bat. And so at that point, I was like, first, why is his theme music playing? And secondly, why did it take him so long to get out here to help his friends? And so yeah, man. So yeah, that's the one thing I had about it. That's the one question and the one problem I had about this. And so yeah, man. So yeah, Jericho, his theme music continued to play. I love Fozzy, man. I really do. I love Judas. I love Fozzy, but the theme music didn't need to play. It didn't need to play. So yeah, so the theme music was still playing, and so yeah, the theme music was still playing, and so Eddie Kingston, who was there too, he motioned the people to cut the music and all that stuff, and so they didn't have any mics, so Eddie Kingston, he was talking to Jericho. He was like, man, why are you out here? Like what? Like why are you out here? I don't need your help. And so Jericho, he was like, I'm here to help out Santana and Ortiz, my Inner Circle mates. And so yeah, so both of these guys, Jericho and Kingston, they went face to face. They were about to fight each other. And so Ortiz, he went to go break these two up. And so yeah, he went to go break these two up. And that was it, man. So that was it. So we might be seeing a Jericho versus Kingston match, which I'm all for, man. I'd love to see that. Different for Jericho. So yeah, man. So when will it be? I don't know, but the match should be really good. And yeah, with 2.0, man, getting the win over Santana and Ortiz, man, should boost them up in that rankings list because Santana and Ortiz, they are one of the best tag teams in AEW, and you beat them. You beat them in the middle of the ring, so that should boost them up in that tag team rankings list. So yeah, man. So that was it with that, man. That was pretty much it with that. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had a backstage segment from MJF, Shawn Spears, and Wardlow of the Pinnacle.
Hey, it's me. One of the biggest ratings draws in all of professional wrestling. Don't believe me? Google it. And today, we're going to talk about unsafe working conditions. You see, last week I was thrown over the top rope with reckless abandonment by that untrained outlaw hack Sting. Seriously, does anybody know who trained that guy?
I don't.
Yeah, because he wasn't. The man was revered when he should have been released. And I can assure you, if I was working for a much more professional wrestling company, things like this wouldn't happen to me, but I suppose that's a conversation that needs to be had as we get closer to the bidding war.
That was that WWE reference right there, man. WWE, they were interested in signing MJF.
Of 2024. CM Punk. You claim you wanted a piece of me, you claim you're a man of the people, and yet the people want to see us go at it more than anything, and you refuse to give that to them. You stayed away from me the entire match like a gutless coward. Well, guess what, Punky? I'm over it. You're yesterday's news. You were merely a distraction for my ultimate goal, and that is for me to hold Pretty Platinum. But why settle there? War Dog, I'm going to need you to stop chasing the hug on that cute little powerbomb symphony you're doing and just start chasing some dubs so you can qualify for the Face of the Revolution ladder match where the winner gets a shot at the TNT title, which I know you'll win, big man. You're great. But when you win it, you're going to need to relinquish it to me.
Wow.
What's that?
Okay, I had a feeling this would happen. Spearsy, Smart Mark's just right outside. Can you grab him?
This guy, what is this?
It's in the contract. Buddy. You right here.
So yeah, so Smart Marq Sterling walks in, so they let Smart Marq Sterling come in. And yeah, this is a flashback, man. So Smart Marq Sterling, he used to be in MJF's campaign when MJF was feuding with Moxley. And yeah, Hook was also in MJF's campaign too. So fun fact about that, Hook was also in MJF's campaign. If you guys don't remember, he was the gum person, the person that handed MJF the gum. So yeah, so this is a nice little flashback with Smart Marq Sterling coming in.
Section 3, Article 13B, I, Wardlow, hereby acknowledge that in exchange for employment with MJF LLC and full Pinnacle membership privileges, all services provided under this contract are considered work for hire, and as such, all merchandise, royalties, intellectual property created or conceived, and championships won or collected as product of my efforts, immediately and forever in perpetuity, the property of Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Yes. Always have a plan, right, Max? Just like I have a plan for Jade to win the TBS championship.
Cool. Spears?
Disappear, no problem.
Now, in the meantime, starting next week, I myself am going to start ranking up and getting some W's so I can become not just the TNT champion, but the AEW World Champion. Why? Because my name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you.
You know it.
And you know it.
And so yeah, man, so that was it. So MJF, he want all the gold. Not only does he want the TNT championship, but he wants the AEW World Championship. So yeah, man, so that was it, man. That was it with that. And so yeah, man, so yeah, so right after that, man, we had Tony Schiavone. He interviews the Lucha Bros, who are the AEW World Tag Team Champions. So that's Pentagon and Rey Fenix with Alex Abrahantes in their corner.
That's right, Excalibur standing by. Looks like some miscommunication, that 10-man tag.
No. Hey. You dipshits went into business for yourself and it cost us the match.
Wow.
Let's stop.
So yeah, so Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus, they walked in on the interview.
Stop delaying the inevitable, huh? Let's stop delaying the inevitable. Next week, your guys versus my guys on Dynamite for the World Tag Team Championships.
Usted dice ser leyenda, pero ¿sabes qué? No eres capaz de hacer equipo con nosotros, Cristiano.
Penta says you're supposed to be a legend, yet you're not even capable of being a good tag team partner with us.
Oh, wow.
And you know what, Jungle Boy? They call you the future. Well, if you're going to be the future, perhaps you should consider letting go of the past.
Oh, they pointed at Christian.
We accept. ¿Saben qué? Settle!
All right, guys, back to you.
So yeah, man, so that was it with that. So of course they have their championship match next week. And yeah, man, so that was it, man. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. Should be a really good match. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had a enhancement match. So we had Wardlow with Shawn Spears in this corner versus Colin Delaney. You guys remember Colin Delaney? He was actually a extra. Yeah, that's the proper term, an extra for not only in WWE but AEW as well. So yeah, so Colin Delaney is here. So yeah, man. So Colin Delaney, he got squashed, man. Got squashed by Wardlow. Wardlow hit him with 4 power bombs to win the match. So Wardlow wins the match. And so yeah, so right after the match, we had Shawn Spears. He hit Colin Delaney with the chair. He hit Delaney with the chair while Delaney was limping away from ringside. And so yeah, so both Spears and Wardlow, they walked away after that. And so yeah, so that was pretty much it with that. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. So they were backstage, and they were talking about the main event tonight, the trios match. So yeah, so they were all backstage, and so Adam Cole, he sent the Young Bucks and Fish, away from Kyle O'Reilly because Adam Cole, he wanted to speak to Kyle O'Reilly. And so yeah, so Kyle O'Reilly, he said that, hey man, we have heat with each other, and right now, we're in AEW now, so this is a new company, which means a new beginning. And yeah, and so Cole, and so yeah, so O'Reilly, he wanted to know if he can trust Adam Cole because Kyle O'Reilly can trust Bobby Fish because they have history together as Red Dragon. And so Kyle O'Reilly, he wanted to know if he can trust Adam Cole. And so yeah, so that's the question. That was the big question tonight. And so yeah, so Kyle O'Reilly walked away, and so Adam Cole had told Brandon Cutler to cut the camera, and so that was pretty much it with that. That was it with that. So yeah, so that was the question. And so, and that's the same question that I had after the match, man. Is Kyle O'Reilly, or Adam Cole rather, is he elite or is he undisputed? So yeah, man. So yeah, so right after this, man, we had Dan Lambert, man. We had Dan Lambert with the minute of the year. So that's Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. So they were inside of the ring, and so they spoke. And this is the best thing on the show, man. This is the best thing on the show. Didn't get any video footage. Did not get any video footage on the AEW Twitter page, but I did pull up the dialogue that they said. So I'm reading this off of WrestleZone, so shout out to WrestleZone. So yeah, man, so Dan Lambert, he was inside of the ring with the minute of the year, and he started talking about Arn Anderson. He was talking about Arn Anderson, and he was talking about Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes. He called Brandy Rhodes a hoe or a whore, called her a whore. So I don't know how he got away with saying that on TV, but he called Brandy Rhodes a whore. And so yeah, and then he talked about Cody Rhodes his Transformer tattoo and all that stuff on his neck. And so yeah, so Brandy Rhodes, she had came out, and yeah, Brandy Rhodes, man, she is great on the microphone. She is really great on the microphone. And so yeah, so she came out and she said that Dan Lambert is she had called Dan Lambert a less talented version of Paul Heyman. And so yeah, so they got a pop from the crowd. And so he said, so Dan Lambert, he had said, I prefer to be compared to Jim Cornette. And so yeah, I heard some boos in the crowd. And so yeah, so Brandy Rhodes, she had asked when is the last time he got beat up by a woman and didn't have to pay for it. And so yeah, Dan Lambert, he was like, let's go then. I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I think that's how you pronounce it, jiu-jitsu. Brandy Rhodes, she had said that, oh yeah, well, I'm a black bitch. And so yeah, so Dustin Rhodes, so yeah, they were getting ready, they were squaring up face to face. And so Dustin Rhodes had came out, he ran out to the ring to try to separate these two. And so yeah, so Ethan Page had blasted Dustin Rhodes from the side. He blindsided Dustin Rhodes, and so he knocked Dustin Rhodes down to the ground. And so that was pretty much it with that. That was pretty much it. This was the best thing on the show. This is the best thing on the show. And as I said before, man, Brandy Rhodes, she is great on the microphone. And also I've been saying this, man. Dan Lambert and Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, they are great together. Three of these guys, just the three of these guys, Page, Sky, and Lambert, great together. Let Dan Lambert do all the talking, and let Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page tag team. So yeah, man. So yeah, great stuff, man. Great stuff. And Brandy Rhodes, I don't care to see Brandy Rhodes in the ring. I really don't. She thrives better as a manager and a person that speaks. So yeah, she should be doing the speaking instead of wrestling. That's just my opinion. She's just better off as a manager. She's better off as a mouthpiece. That's just my opinion. But yeah, man, so that was it, man. This is the best thing on the show. The best thing on the show. And the way that Brandy Rhodes came off on the microphone was really great, man. Came off like a badass, man, too. So yeah, man. So that was it, man. So the minute year and Dan Lambert, they left the ring. And so yeah, so that was it. And so right after that, man, we had the semifinals. We had the semifinals of the TBS Women's Championship Eliminator Tournament. So yeah, so we had Jade Cargill with Smart Mark Sterling in her corner versus Thunder Rosa. So yeah, so Thunder Rosa, she came out, she was dressed as the Wolverine, so I thought that was really cool. She had the claws and everything. And so yeah, man, so Thunder Rosa, she had dove onto Sterling. And so Jade and Rosa, they were fighting outside of the ring. And so Jade, she had took out Rosa with a backbreaker outside of the ring. And so Rosa had hit Jade with a dragon screw. And then at one point we had Thunder Rosa, she slipped off of the rope, but she still managed to hit her forearm. So nice recovery from Rosa. And so yeah, so Jade had caught Rosa with a pump kick. And so Jade at that point, she had took control of the match during the commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And so yeah, so Rosa, she went right after Jade's leg the entire time. And so Jade had hit a pop-up Samoan drop to Rosa. And so Rosa, she had locked in the figure four leg lock. First, it took her some time to lock in the figure four leg lock because Jade Cargill got some big legs. And so yeah, she locked it in. And Jade, she had grabbed the ropes. And so yeah, so at that point we had Smart Mark Sterling. He had handed Jade a water bottle, for a water break and all that stuff. And so that bothered the referee. And so the referee was arguing with Marq. He was arguing with Marq and everything. And so I was like, man, why is he arguing with Marq when all he did was just handed her a water bottle to get a water break? So yeah, like the referee made it seem like he got involved in the match, like getting physically involved in the match. And so yeah, the referee was arguing with Marq. And so yeah, and then we had a hooded person, a person that was dressed up in black hoodie and black pants and everything, and all black, was dressed in all black and with a mask and everything. And so yeah, so this hooded person had hit Thunder Rosa with a bottle, I think it was, hit her with something. And yeah, I thought it was a bottle, so she hit her with a bottle. And so yeah, again, referee was distracted, and so to end the match, we had Jade Cargill. She had a finishing move that jaded to Thunder Rosa to win the match. So therefore, Jade Cargill wins the match and will go on to the finals to face Ruby Soho in the finals next week on TBS. And so yeah, man, so that was it with that, man. That was it with that. And so right after the match, we had Rosa. She attacked Jade Cargill. So I don't know how she recovered from that because she was just blasting in the head with a bottle. And so yeah, so she was a sore loser, so she got attacked. So she attacked Jade Cargill. And so yeah, so the hooded person went back into the ring and attacked Thunder Rosa. And so this hooded person unmasked themselves. And so when I got a closer look at this hooded person, I knew who it was. And so the person that unmasked themselves was Mercedes Martinez. So Mercedes Martinez is in AEW. She's signed with AEW, so it was official. So she's all elite. And so yeah, so Mercedes Martinez, she was in Impact Wrestling not too long ago. She won a Knockouts Knockdown tournament, and she fought Mickie James for that Knockouts Championship, and she lost against Mickie James. And so yeah, man, so Martinez and Jade, they double team Rosa. And so Ruby Soho, her theme music had played. I said the same thing with Jericho earlier today. Why does the theme music need to play? I love Ruby Soho. I love her music. I love Ruby Soho, man, but why does the music need to play? That's my thing. Why does the music need to play when you could just run out to the ring? Like, you're not in a match, so your music don't need to play. So yeah, so she ran out to her theme music, and she had a pipe in her hand, and she chased off Jade and Mercedes Martinez. And so yeah, so that was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it with that. So yeah, with Jade Cargill winning the match was the right move. It was the right move. I didn't see Jade Cargill losing tonight. It wouldn't have been the right move to have her lose tonight. And yeah, she's not gonna win the title. She's not gonna win the TBS championship. That's what she's not gonna do. She's not gonna win the championship, but she is gonna make it to the finals. She's gone to the finals, and she will have her first loss to Ruby Soho. Like with Jade Cargill, I don't think she's ready yet for the championship, like to be a champion yet. I think Ruby Soho, she deserves it more than Jade Cargill because she's actually been there longer, and not longer in AEW per se, but Jade Cargill, she has been in AEW longer than Ruby Soho, but Ruby Soho is an experienced professional wrestler. She's been in the business longer than Jade Cargill. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, man. So yeah, and Ruby Soho, she's never held a championship, not even in WWE. So that's why I'm saying that Ruby Soho, she deserves that title. She deserves to win that championship. She deserves to win that tournament. So yeah, so and the thing is, yeah, Jade Cargill, she is undefeated. And to have her lose in the finals, to have her lose in the championship finals, that dude, that's gonna come off bigger. Like for a first loss, it's gonna come off bigger. To lose in the finals, like to have your first match, to lose your first match in the finals of a championship tournament is gonna come off way better than having her lose in this semifinals match. So yeah, it brings a level of unpredictability too in the finals. Like who's gonna win? Is Jade Cargill streak is gonna continue, or will the streak end? Or, is Ruby Soho finally going to win the championship? Is she finally going to get redemption by winning the championship? Or will the streak continue? Will the undefeated streak of Jade Cargill will continue? So, yeah, man. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jade Cargill going to the finals is the right move. And so, yeah, so the entire time throughout the tournament, I was predicting Ruby Soho to go to the finals and face Jade Cargill. And having Jade Cargill lose in her first match in the finals. And so yeah, man. So that was it, man. And yeah, Mercedes Martinez, great pickup for Toni Khan. I know a while ago, I think when AEW first started, she was in the Casino Battle Royale, and Toni Khan didn't sign her. Toni Khan should have signed her then when AEW first started, because she went to WWE. She competed in NXT, went called up to the main roster, and was in Retribution. She got called back down to NXT, and the rest is history. But yeah, man. But Mercedes Martinez, great pickup for Toni Khan for AEW, especially for that women's division because they need it, man. And so yeah, man. So that was it, man. So Mercedes Martinez is all elite, and Jade Cargill is going up to the finals to face Ruby Soho in that finals of the TBS Women's Championship Eliminator Tournament on TBS next week. So yeah, man. So that was it, man. That was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had CM Punk. So yeah, we had CM Punk. He came out to the ring. So this is CM Punk's first time in the Daily's place. And so they said that it was CM Punk's first time in Daily's place, and I was like, really? I was like, wow, I didn't know that. But yeah, man, so this is his first time in Daily's place, and so CM Punk came out to the ring. And so CM Punk, I don't have the video queued up right now. But yeah, once again, I'm on WrestleZone, so shout out to WrestleZone for the dialogue. So yeah, so CM Punk, he came out and he welcomed Jim Ross back to commentary. He welcomed him back to AEW. And so yeah, CM Punk has said that Daily's Place reminds him of Brody Lee, the late great Mr. Brody Lee. And so yeah, he said that he sat at home and he watched a tribute show for Mr. Brody Lee, and it made him want to come to AEW. And so yeah, so Punk, he has said that there's someone that doesn't want to be here, and it's MJF. And so yeah, he talked about MJF comparing himself to Roddy Piper. And yeah, he said that Punk has said that while Roddy Piper laced up his wrestling boots, MJF laced up his running shoes. And so yeah, so Punk, he has said that MJF, MJF, he mentioned that he said he was done with me. So yeah, so Punk said he's kind of okay with that MJF is done with him, but he has bigger things on his plate as well. And he called MJF a waste of time, and is a bigger waste of con money than Tim Tebow. So they had the crowd, the crowd didn't know how to feel about that. I heard some boos in the crowd. They didn't like that. And so yeah, so Punk, he laughed it off. So yeah, Punk, he had to throw that joke in. So yeah, so Punk, he has said that nobody can touch him, not even on commentary. And so yeah, so Punk, he has said that it would be a real shame if somebody interfered in MJF's, championship matches that he wants to go after. So yeah, so he's threatening MJF. He's threatening MJF if he doesn't, get what he wants. He wants a match with MJF. So yeah, man, so that was pretty much it with that. That was pretty much it. Right after that, man, we had Ricky Starks with Powerhouse Hobbs in his corner. So they were backstage, and so Ricky Starks, he had spoke. And so they were talking about Dante Martin. They called out Dante Martin, and he said that, he hasn't done anything since, hooking up with Lio Rush. So he said that Dante Martin done nothing. He's done nothing while he was with Lio Rush. So yeah, so that was pretty much it with that, man. That was pretty much it. I really kind of wanted to see it. I really wanted to see Dante Martin in Team Taz. I really did. Like, I really wanted to see how it was gonna play out, but it was short lived, dude. Like, we didn't even get a chance to see him team up with Team Taz. the only time we got to see him team up with Team Taz was in that Battle Royal, that Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. And so yeah, and that's where the relationship ended. And so yeah, I thought we were gonna see him in Team Taz. It probably would have been the best option for him to team up with Team Taz. You know, even though I didn't see it at first, you know, I still wanted to see how it was gonna play out. But they short-lived it. It wasn't long enough. So yeah, man. So that was pretty much it with that. So yeah. So right after that, man, we had Sami Guevara, former TNT champion Sami Guevara, and yeah, Sami Guevara. I did watch Rampage. I did watch Rampage on Christmas Day, but I didn't review it. I didn't feel like reviewing it. But Sami Guevara had lost his TNT championship to Cody Rhodes, and so yeah, man. So yeah, so Cody Rhodes, Sami Guevara rather. Sami Guevara, former TNT champion. He had his cue cards. He said Bobby Fish, Ethan Page, Jay Lethal, Tony Nese, 5 matches as a champ, 4 successful title defenses, 3-month title reign. 2 crossroads later, I lost my championship. That's one memory I won't forget. With New Year's upon us, I have my resolution: beat the American Nightmare, win back my title, and once again be the TNT champion. So that's what Sami Guevara had to say about Cody Rhodes. And so yeah, man, I do want to say something about the Cody Rhodes stuff too, the championship win. At first I didn't like it. Like Sami Guevara losing his championship to Cody Rhodes. At first I didn't like it, but then again I thought about it. I was like, man, like yeah, I was like, man, I wanted Sami Guevara to defend his championship against other heels like a Malachi Black or anybody else that wanted to go after that title. But yeah, Cody Rhodes winning the championship, I was like, man, Cody, he does not need it. I was like, man, he doesn't need that TNT championship. But I was wondering, like, hey, with Cody Rhodes winning the TNT championship, will it play up to his heel turn? Will it play up to a heel turn? Like, you know, because the crowd didn't like that. The crowd didn't like the fact that Cody Rhodes won that TNT title. They didn't like that. And so, yeah, is it gonna solidify his heel turn? That's what I was thinking. Like, since he won a championship, will he turn heel? And that's what I'm hoping they go. Because yeah, man, you beat Sami Guevara. Sami Guevara is like one of the beloved babyface. He is well liked as a babyface, and you had Cody Rhodes beat your top babyface. So that should be a heel turn. And I'm pretty sure everybody wants Cody Rhodes to turn heel. I want him to turn heel. Every single person wants Cody Rhodes to turn heel. I want him to turn heel. He should. Because you beat Sami Guevara and you expecting to still be a babyface, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, bro. But yeah, man, so that was it, man. That was it with that. So yeah, so right after that, man, we had Hikaru Shida. We had a vignette from Hikaru Shida. She was talking about Serena Deeb, and she's not done. She said she wants another piece of Serena Deeb. So yeah, so they're still going back and forth. And so yeah, man, so that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had Tony Schiavone. He interviews Brian Pillman Jr. of the Varsity Blondes. And so yeah, they were talking about Malachi Black. Brian Pillman Jr. He was talking about Malachi Black taking out Griff Garrison and all that stuff.
Now, I never knew my father. I don't know what kind of man he was. But if I learned one thing from his life, it's that you only get one of them. And I'm not giving you mine! Next week, you're going to see a brand new Brian Pillman Jr.
And so, yeah, so at that point, the lights had cut off. And we all know who it is, Malachi Black. And so, yeah, so the lights had cut off. And, Malachi Black was on the stage. He was out of the tunnel. And so, yeah, so he was just standing on the stage. And so the lights had cut off again. And so Malachi Black, he went away from ringside. So you saw him walk through the tunnel. And so, yeah. So that was it, man. So that was it with that. So he's playing mind games with Brian Pillman Jr. And so, yeah, man. So, yeah, it was announced. So the match will be next week against Brian Pillman Jr. and Malachi Black. So I said the same thing about Griff Garrison last week. This is Brian Pillman Jr.'s death sentence because you're in the ring with Malachi Black. And so, yeah, man. So, and we haven't seen Griff Garrison since. We haven't seen Julia Hart since. So this is his death sentence. So, yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had the Acclaim there backstage. They spoke. So we had Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. They were talking about Darby Allin because they have a match on Rampage. And so, yeah, so Bowens, he had said that Darby Allin, he looked like someone from My Chemical Romance, the band. And so Darby, so he said that he's gonna beat Darby Allin on Rampage, and then we went to Sting and Darby Allin backstage too. And so Darby, he has said that he's ready, so he's ready for Bowens on Rampage. And so so that was pretty much it with that. And so right after that, man, before we get into the main event, let's talk about next week's show. So on Friday, let's talk about Friday. So Friday for AEW Rampage, New Year's Smash, we have the TNT Championship match. It's gonna be Cody Rhodes, the TNT champion, the new TNT champion, Cody Rhodes, with Arn Anderson in his corner versus Ethan Page with Dan Lambert in his corner. So that's on New Year's Eve. And also on Rampage, we have Darby Allin with Sting in his corner versus Anthony Bowens with Max Caster in his corner. And also we had the technique. We had the technique by Taz, Hook, Redrum. So that's on New Year's Eve. And also we have a street fight. It's gonna be Penelope Ford and a Bunny versus Ty Conti and Anna Jay in a street fight on New Year's Eve on Rampage. And I'm getting really sick and tired of this feud. I really am. I said this last week, and I'm gonna say it again this week. I'm getting sick and tired of this feud. Like, it needs to end already. It should have ended then, and it needs to end now. So yeah, man. And also on next week, we have the AEW World Championship match. So it's Hangman Adam Page, who is the AEW World Champion, versus Bryan Danielson, who is the number one contender for the AEW World Championship, round 2. So yes, on Wednesday. And if the time goes to a draw again, we're going to have some judges. And so that's next week on Wednesday. And also on Wednesday, we have Jade Cargill versus Ruby Soho in the finals. And the winner will be the new TBS Women's Champion, first ever TBS Women's Champion. And also we have Malachi Black versus Brian Pillman Jr. on Wednesday. And then we have the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. It's going to be the Lucha Bros, who are the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Rey Fenix and Pentagon, versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus next week for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. And so man, so that was pretty much it with that. And that's pretty much it for next week's show and on Rampage. So right after that, man, we had the main event. So we had the Undisputed Era, if they can call themselves that. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish versus Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends, Trent and Chuck Taylor. So man, this is a really great match. First off, we had the crowd, they started chanting undisputed. So I got goosebumps off of that, man. I loved it. It reminded me of their NXT days, man, when they used to main event NXT and main event all those takeovers, man. Take me back to that NXT, please. And so man, so we had Trent and O'Reilly. They were going back and forth. And so O'Reilly, he tagged in Fish instead of Cole because, Cole. So once again, O'Reilly, he doesn't know if he can trust Adam Cole or not. And so I do love this, though. I do love this, man. The long-term storytelling, man, from WWE to AEW. Like, these guys, they had beef when that Undisputed Era broke up, and Cole and O'Reilly was feuding on NXT at that point, and they brought it to AEW. So I do like that. I like it. And so that's long-term storytelling, man. Long-term storytelling. So man. So Fish and O'Reilly, they took out Chuck. The Undisputed Era took control of the match during a commercial break, picture-in-picture, of course. And so Cole, he had took out Orange with a super kick, and we had a half-and-half suplex to Fish from Trent, and we had a tornado DDT to O'Reilly from Trent, and he kicks out. And so O'Reilly, he had kicked Chuck off of the stage, so I thought that was really funny, man. The fact that he kicked him off of the stage, and he fell off of the stage. And so we had an assisted knee drop to Trent from Red Dragon, and then we had a hot tag to Orange. He took out the Undisputed Era. And then Orange hit a Stunt Dog Millionaire to Cole. We had Red Dragon, they hit double team moves to Orange. And so Red Dragon, they hit the high low to Orange. And so Chuck had broke up the pin. And at that point, we had super kicks. And so Chuck rather, he had blocked Cole's Panama Sunrise. And so Chuck, he had dove off of the stage onto Fish and O'Reilly, Red Dragon. And so Trent, he had Spear Cole on the stage. And then we had a diving DDT to Cole from Orange, and he kicked out on the move. And then we had a series of power drivers to Cole from the Best Friends. And so Orange hit a beach break to Cole, and Red Dragon had broke up the pin. And so at that point, O'Reilly, he accidentally kicked Adam Cole in his face by accident. And so we had double team moves to Red Dragon. And then at that point, Brandon Cutler had came out with his spray. So he came out spraying his spray around, and he ran into the ring, and then the Best Friends had took out Cutler. And so the Bucks had came out, and they gave the Best Friends super kicks. And so yeah, so to end the match, man, we had the Red Dragon hit that finishing move, the chasing the dragon. They hit that finishing move, chasing the dragon to Chuck to win the match. So the Undisputed Era wins the match, and that was it, man. That was it with the match. As I said before, man, great match. And yeah, and so the end right after the match, we had Cole. Cole, he was on stage with the Bucks. So yeah, the Bucks, they were still out there with Brandon Cutler. So they were the Bucks and Cutler. They were consoling Adam Cole. They were checking on Adam Cole because he got kicked in his face by accident by Kyle O'Reilly. And so yeah, they went to go to Adam Cole and they picked him up and all that stuff, and they were on the stage while Fish and O'Reilly were in the ring celebrating their win. And so the referee and Fish and O'Reilly wanted to know why Adam Cole wasn't in the ring because he was a part of the match too. And yeah, Cole didn't even get his hand raised. He didn't even get his hand raised. And so yeah, man. So yeah, the Elite and the Undisputed Era, they were arguing and all that stuff. And so that was pretty much it. So we have, yeah, power struggle, man. Power struggle in the Elite. And so yeah, and I mentioned this earlier, man. I had the question earlier: is Adam Cole undisputed or is he elite? Is he elite or is he undisputed? And yeah, and I had the same question last week: is he undisputed? Is he gonna align himself with Adam? Is he gonna align himself with Fish and O'Reilly, or is he gonna align himself with the Bucks? So yeah, so that's the same question that I had tonight. And so yeah, man, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I think he's gonna align himself with Fish and O'Reilly. That's what I think. He's gonna align himself with Fish and O'Reilly, and they're gonna turn on the Bucks. That's what I think is gonna happen. And with Kenny Omega, I don't know when Kenny Omega is gonna come back, but when Kenny Omega comes back, he's gonna be a babyface. He's gonna be a babyface, and he's gonna team up with the Bucks, and they're gonna go up against the Undisputed Era. That's what I think is gonna happen. But yeah, man. But yeah, that was it, man. That was it with that. That was it with the show. And yeah, man, really great show, man. Good show tonight. Good show tonight. Enjoyed the main event. Love that Brandy Rose and Dan Lambert segment. I love that. That was probably the best thing on the show. And yeah, man. And as I said before, I love the storylines. Loving the storylines. And yeah, and that was it, man. That was it. That was it with AEW Dynamite. And so now, man. So yeah, so now that we're done with AEW Dynamite, the review for AEW Dynamite, man, let's talk about Toni Storm. Let's talk about Toni Storm and her release. So Toni Storm was released from WWE earlier today. And yeah, man, and it was a shock to me. It really was. It was a shock to me because usually when people are, usually when people ask for their release, they usually don't get granted their release. And so yeah, man, so let's pull up this article. So I'm reading this off of the New York Post. So yeah, Toni Storm, she is the latest wrestler to be released from the WWE in 2021. And so yeah, so the timing of the news, that it was surprising. It really was. And so yeah, so given that Storm, she wrestled Charlotte Flair on SmackDown for the Women's Championship on that Christmas Eve show. And so yeah, so that previous week she pinned Charlotte Flair in a women's tag team match. And so yeah, so they were building her up. Even though champions should never lose and all that stuff, but she pinned Charlotte Flair. So in WWE term, if you pin a champion, you get a championship match and all that stuff. And so yeah, man, so while a majority of wrestlers who were released from the company were budget cut reasons, that's what they say. But in the end of the day, it's a load of crap. It's not budget cuts. It don't have nothing to do with money. They have all the money in the world. So the fact that they saying it's budget cuts is a load of crap. So yeah, so Storm is believed to have requested her release according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful. So yeah, so Storm, who is 26 years old, was called up to the main roster this year after several years in NXT and NXT UK. And yeah, Toni Storm is former NXT UK Women's Champion. And so yeah, so Storm, she's done an interview with Fox Sport this past week in which she talked about waiting around for her main roster opportunities, but then being excited when things ramped up. And so yeah, so Toni Storm, she was being interviewed, and this was what she said. Toni Storm, she had said it's the worst because you just don't know. Obviously, wrestling can be so unpredictable. Next week, you can be main eventing and winning a title, and everything could be happening or nothing. So yeah, so she said you don't know. This is show business. At the end of the day, it's a topsy-turvy industry. When you're sat in catering, it's not a good feeling. Just sitting there waiting for your shot, waiting for your big break, waiting to show everyone what you worked for your entire life to be good at. I just sat there asking, when am I next? What's happening? Now when stuff starts happening, I'm still like, what's going on? Oh my God, what's my life? What is my life? So yeah, so other wrestlers who have been released from the WWE this year include Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, Aleister Black, Keith Lee, Ember Moon, Ruby Riott, Karrion Kross, and Nia Jax. So yeah, man. So yeah, so that was it. That's all I got from this. Like, dude, you ain't why you didn't have any plans for Toni Storm? That's my question. You telling me that you couldn't find nothing for Toni Storm to do? Like, dude, Toni Storm is really talented. She's young. She's very talented. And the fact that you ain't had no plans for her, like why did you call her up from NXT? Like, why did you call her up from NXT if you had no plans for her? And it happens with everybody. It happens with everybody. They call these people up from NXT to the main roster, and they don't have no plans for them. And then when they don't have no plans for them, they send them in catering, just like what she said earlier. She sat in catering, and then they don't get featured on TV, and then they get released. It happens with every single person. It happens with every single person, and dude, it needs to stop. It really do. It needs to stop, and it's not gonna stop. That's the problem. It's not gonna stop. Like, dude, Toni Storm, she is a great wrestler, and you ain't had no plans for her. There are women on that roster that I would have loved to see Toni Storm fight. Becky Lynch. I would have loved to see her go up against Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch. I said Becky Lynch already. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Bayley when she comes back. I would have loved to see her against Bayley, Bianca, Rhea Ripley once again. Reignite nephew from NXT UK. I would have loved to see that again. Asuka, when Asuka comes back, I would have loved to see her in the ring with Asuka. Man, there are some talent on that roster that she can fight. And you just let her go, man. You just let her go. My God, dude. You let her go. It's their loss. It's their loss in somebody else's game. I say this all the time with these releases. It's somebody else's game. And so, yeah, man. So, yeah, so she was granted her release. She is released. So, yeah, what shocked me the most, because usually they do not release these people. If they ask for their releases, they do not let them go. We saw it in the past. We saw it in the past when AEW was a thing. Back then before AEW was even a thing, it wasn't even happening. But since when AEW was a thing, they were not letting these people out of their contracts. But yeah, the fact that they let Toni Storm go, it was shocking. But yeah, man. Wherever Toni Storm ends up, man, it is somebody else's gain. It is somebody else's gain. And where does she go? I can see her in AEW. I can see her in AEW or Impact Wrestling, one of those companies. She'll probably end up in AEW, spicing up that women's division even more. But yeah, man, that's what I would do with Toni Storm. That's what I would do with Toni Storm. And yeah, the fact that they had no plans for Toni Storm is freaking sickening, man. And she has the look. She has the look what the main roster wanted. She's blonde. She's curvy. She's a curvy woman. Very attractive. She has a nice, nice body. You know what I mean? She has a nice body and all that stuff. And, what WWE wants. From their women. Blonde hair, nice body and all that stuff. Toni Storm, she has that. And you didn't even use her. You didn't even dude, it's the fact that you called her up. You had her on TV, and then you had her off of TV, and then now you brought her back on TV to feud with Charlotte Flair, and then you had her, take 2 pies to her face and all that stuff. You made Toni Storm look stupid and all that stuff by having Charlotte Flair, smash her in the face with pies like twice in her face. It made Toni Storm look weak, and that's the thing I didn't like. It made her look weak. She wasn't taken seriously and all that stuff. Like, dude, they ruined her, man. They ruined her. And so, yeah, man, that was it, man. That's it. The fact that she haven't even held a title yet, man. The fact that you had no plans for her. You don't know how to book her. You don't know how to book her. Like, you don't know how to give her a championship match. Dude, give her some wins first, and then go send her after the title. They sent her straight after the title instead of building her up first. For that championship title match. These people are so stupid, man. WWE, they do not know how to book their talent. And that's why I say all the time, man. If you're an aspiring professional wrestler, if you're a wrestler right now in the indies, or if you're an aspiring pro wrestler like myself, You know, why in the hell would you want to go to WWE? Why in the hell would you want to go to WWE? They do not care about you. They don't care about you. You know, you listen to all these people talk. You know, you listen to all these people that came from WWE. You know, they'll tell you it's like a prison. It's like a prison. Look at all these vignettes. Look at all these vignettes that these people put out. You know, when they leave the company. You know, they're locked up in a prison. Same thing with Jon Moxley. With Jon Moxley, he had a vignette of himself escaping prison. Buddy Murphy, it showed him escaping prison. Malachi Black showed him escaping prison and all that stuff. Like, dude, it's like a prison. You're like a number to these people. They don't care. They don't care about you. So why should you care about them? Why should you spend your life in that company? Why would you spend years of your life in that company when these people don't give a damn about you? So yeah, so I'm saying this right now, like if you're a professional wrestler or aspiring pro wrestler, like why would you want to go to that company? A company that don't give a damn about you or your talent, you know? You know, they much rather push somebody else that don't have no experience. They much rather push somebody that doesn't care about professional wrestling. You know, that's all they care about. They don't care about experience. They don't care about that stuff. Look at NXT 2.0. Look at NXT 2.0. You know, NXT 2.0 is a joke. It's a joke. They got rid of everybody. They got rid of Triple H. They got rid of Triple H and his vision. They ain't like how Triple H was running NXT. When Triple H was doing it the right way, Triple H was doing everything the right way for NXT, and they got rid of him. They got rid of him, and they got rid of all his people that he was pushing. They fired them. They fired them and kicked them out of the company and all that stuff, and just rebranded NXT. Rebranded it, changed its colors, changed the music, changed the vision. And Triple H, he worked for years, man. He built up NXT for almost a decade, man. Almost a decade he spent fixing NXT, building up NXT. He was building it up for the future. And these people went backwards. These people went backwards when they got their grubby hands on NXT. When Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, and the rest of his freaking cronies got their hands on NXT, they freaking ruined it. They ruined NXT. And NXT ain't gonna never recover, man. And now NXT, I don't even watch it anymore. I don't even review it anymore on this show. I don't review it because NXT right now is dead to me. It's dead to me. That's what I said earlier, man. Take me back to the NXT. Take me back to the NXT, the glory days of NXT. But yeah, man. That's it, man. That's it. That's all I gotta say about it. That's all I gotta say about the release, man. Toni Storm release. You know, she deserves better, man. She really does. She deserves better. And yeah, I'm glad Toni Storm asked for a release. I'm glad that she left that company, man. I'm glad that she left that freaking hellhole of a freaking professional wrestling company, man. Glad that she left. Because these people, they don't deserve her. They don't deserve Toni Storm. They don't deserve Toni Storm. Anybody that picks up Toni Storm, they'll be better off for it. Whether it's AEW, Impact, you know, all these other companies too on the indies, or whether she goes back or she chooses to go back on the into the UK. You know, if she want to go overseas, you know, she can go there if she wants. But yeah, man, whatever company picks her up, you know, is their gain. Is their gain and WWE's loss. And so yeah, man. So that's all I gotta say about it. That's all I gotta say about the release. And yeah, man. That's it. That's it with the AEW Dynamite review, and that's it with my thoughts on the Toni Storm release announced earlier today. And yeah, man, if you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I'm here each and every single week, man. I'm here on Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, Fridays for AEW Rampage, and then Saturdays and Sundays are for our pay-per-views, man. WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about AEW Dynamite tonight, and tell me how tell me your thoughts on the Toni Storm release. Talk about that too. And yeah, man, and share this video, man, with each and every single person that you come across. And yeah, man. And if you miss anything, if you missed last week's review of AEW Dynamite, the video is right up here in this corner. And the link to that video is down below in the description, so make sure you click it if you missed it. And yeah, man, and I'll see you guys on Thursday for Impact Wrestling. I will be able to catch Impact Wrestling live. I don't have wrestling practice this week because, you know, the New Year's. So we're going to be back on the 4th. We'll be back on January the 4th, so that's on Tuesday. So yeah, so I'll see you guys for Impact Wrestling on Thursday. And then I'll see you guys on Friday. I might do something on Friday. Probably not. I don't know. But because it's New Year's Eve. But yeah, probably I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna do anything on Rampage. But if I do, I'll see you guys on Rampage, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. Saturday, right? Saturday for day one. So yeah, so Saturday for day one. So I'm gonna be making my predictions probably in that Rampage review. And so yeah, so I'll be back on Saturday too for a day one. And so yeah, man. So that's it, man. And yeah. And once again, guys, thank you for the love and support for the show. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. And yeah, man. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.